that we do at businessofcannabis.com. Coming up on BOC Live, we connect with Conor O'Brien. He is Industry and Data Analyst for Prohibition Partners, and they just released their Global Cannabis Report, available for download. We want to connect with him about the report, what it means, who should read it, and what's included. Conor O'Brien, thanks for being here.
Hey, Jay. Thanks for having me.
I'm excited to have you. I mean, we're on the same team, more or less, but you are an industry and data analyst for Prohibition Partners. This week, you are a key component of the Global Cannabis Report, which is available for download. I've been flicking through an early version, so I'm cheating on this. Tell us a little bit about sort of the Global Cannabis Report and what folks might find in there when they download it.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So you've seen an early version, but most of the juicy stuff is already in there. So yeah, we're releasing it this week. I've been writing it for the past few months, and basically we're encapsulating as much as we can of the entire cannabis, or should we say cannabinoid markets across the world. So we've had our best crack at that in the space of about 50 pages. So that covers CBD, medical cannabis, recreational cannabis, and it feels kind of like cannabis is touching almost every aspect of the globe at the moment. So really, we've just tried to cover as much as we can. So
I'm trying to think about your work over the past several months to put this together, and just the amount of information that has actually come out over the past several months. And like, are there times when you're writing a report like this where like whole sections get scrapped, like when Germany starts to talk more aggressively about legalization, Malta this week? Like, is there really a moment in time where you're like, okay, now we have it, and then the whole apple cart gets sort of upended midway through?
Absolutely. Yeah. Like you cannot. It's so hard to get like a snapshot of the industry that remains, valid for more than, I don't know, a couple of weeks, and then boom, Germany legalized, or like you say, Malta or Luxembourg decriminalized. But yeah, maybe just to give an overview of what is in the report. So like one of the main things we look at is legalization, right? So, the market obviously follows legalization. If we split it into the categories of like CBD, adult use, and medical cannabis, then we've got, three obviously interlinked but quite different markets. With say CBD, then we look at how that has spread across the globe, but how it's very much a different beast to adult use and medical cannabis. Not just in how it's used, but in how it's being like legalized. And the market is still a lot more distributed than the adult use and medical markets. So when you look at CBD, there's not this like strict licensing regime that you see for cannabis, which means that the barrier to entry is lower, which means you have like thousands of like small scale producers, and where is in cannabis you have like hundreds of kind of very specialized producers.
And that must be also a challenge, right? Like, it's because I just even thinking about the US market and the CBD market is like this very strange, lightly regulated thing. And in Canada, it's actually something different. And in Europe, it's even something different yet still. And then there are parts of the world where it's actually not accepted, but it actually does exist. It's like, it's a complicated, I don't know, menagerie of like different regulations and overlapping and sometimes conflicting.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is fascinating for that reason. Like, I mean, so if you look at, this is part of why I love looking at cannabis, because it's so everywhere. So like you can look at South America with CBD, and say in Brazil, then CBD is treated kind of like a pharmaceutical. You have a few producers, Prati, Donaduzzi, maybe cut out that because I haven't even had an attempt at the pronunciation. So yeah, then you don't have like tons of small scale producers. And then in say China, you've got like provinces like Yunnan province growing all this hemp and like producing CBD for cosmetics and whatnot. But then during the year, you have China coming out and saying they're going to even ban the use of CBD in cosmetics, you know? So it's just, yeah, it's so different in every corner of the globe.
Yeah, and I guess that's why, I mean, I think, I mean, when it's available, I'm going to download it and read it over the next couple of weeks, because it is a good encapsulation of where the world is today. And also, I think paints the picture that it's good for right now, but a year from now, when when the Global Cannabis Report comes out, it could look, maybe not be 50 pages, it might be 75, but the overall sector is just growing, and you need to have some baseline knowledge in order to either be in the sector or adjacent to the sector, or even just understanding how the sector will impact your work. So I think, I mean, I'm just trying to
Yeah.
gauge, like, it is a good read for nearly anybody interested, really.
Yeah, so I guess that's why it exists, is like it's meant to be a touchstone for anybody who's engaging in the industry. For throughout the year, they can come back and say, okay, actually, yeah, where do we expect medical cannabis in Europe to be in a year, or where do we expect CBD to be in Latin America for a year? And they can touch off this kind of report and then kind of get their bearings. We've definitely seen a lot of people operate in the cannabis industry, even the biggest players, and kind of diving into sectors probably before they're ready and without kind of much diligence around where their investments are going, or like when they're going to make a return. Certainly can happen to any player. So yeah, that's what this report is meant to provide, kind of a bedrock of information.
And it's super needed, right? It's we at Business of Cannabis, we try to sort of put out there the top 5 stories that we're looking at around the world every day. And even just deciding what the top 5 stories are every day is a challenge, because so much is happening on so many different fronts. And some very small decisions, like this week, it's like how many cities in the state of New York are going to allow dispensaries, is a very important decision for the New York industry. And then countries coming online in Europe, like it's a lot of challenge. So to have someone like you to sort of have a lens, provide a report, even if it's a snapshot for this year, I think is super valuable, which is why I'm going to geek out over the holidays and like really dive in and like send you questions through the Telegram channel, just to like get answers to things that sort of are questions that arise. And I guess
tentatively available 24/7 for that.
Well, it's actually a good thing. So and also this report is available for free download, am I right, on Prohibition
That's
Partners?
right. Yeah, we want it to be distributed as wide as possible.
Yeah, so you'll be able to find it on the Prohibition Partners website. We'll link to it as this video goes on to our website as well. So you'll be able to sort of download and get this in your own hands. But Conor, it's really, from what I can see in the preview version that I have, it's incredible work and super detailed. So congratulations to you and the team, but it really is an important read. And I hope our audience, the Prohibition Partners team, and everybody can really geek out over the holiday, like really dive deep.
Yeah, we hope people enjoy it. And if like Jay, you have any questions and you're geeking out, then hit us up.
Well, I'm going to put your email address actually in the link as well, so people will definitely be reaching out to you, Conor. And in addition to me, I'll collate the emails and get them to you so you can answer them rapid fire. But Conor, I really appreciate the time. Good work to you and the team, and we will post how people can download this as we post this video.
Great. Thanks so much, Jay.
Thanks, Conor.
All right.
That was Conor O'Brien from Prohibition Partners. If you like this program, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you heard the show. It helps support the work we do. We're able to do what we do because of ongoing partnerships with Alterna Savings, Cannabis at Work, Cannabis Benchmarks, Can Delta, Gallagher, Headset, and Torque & Mains. Find out all that we do at businessofcannabis.com.